Hello guys, long time no see. I'm your Chinese fish head spy Fee. Ever since Black Mass Wukong blew up, it feels like Chinese games have finally stepped into the global spotlight. After that, we've seen a bunch of really high quality trailers coming out one after another. It's honestly been super exciting for both players and the whole industry. So let's skip the small talk. Today I wanted to share a few upcoming Chinese single-player games that I'm personally really looking forward to. Let's see if Chinese games are truly entering their golden age like people say. At this year's Gamescom in Germany, Game Science didn't bring the Black Myth Wukong DLC that everyone was expecting. Instead, they surprised us with a brand new title, Black Myth Zhong Kui. In Chinese culture, Zhong Kui is kind of a familiar stranger. Most people have heard of him as the ghost-catching master, but if you ask about his actual story or background, well, even I had to look it up before making this video, yeah. But from a creative point of view, that's actually a good thing. Unlike Journey to the West, which has a very fixed storyline, Zhong Kui gives the devils much more room to play around. They can create freely without worrying about being too historically accurate or tracking lore debates like some other games have. Yeah. Right now, there's only one teaser trailer, so the gameplay is still in the mystery. But personally, I'm super curious about one thing: what kind of weapon will Zhong Kui use? Unlike Wukong's iconic stuff, Jinggu Bang, Zhong Kui has been shown with all sorts of weapons in old paintings: swords, maces, fans, even magic items. So maybe this means the game will have a really rich weapon system. Still deep down, I got to say Monkey King's Jinggu Bang, just hits different. Yeah. And I saw this hilarious meme online. Someone called Zhong Kui's two little ghost servants Chinese goblins. I couldn't stop laughing. But no, they're not goblins. They are actually ghosts, unique to Chinese mythology. Yeah, just a little yeah. Anyway, I'm also curious, which one are you more excited for? The mysterious new Black Myth Zhong Kui or a possible Wukong DLC? Gujian. The Gujian series is one of the most iconic franchises in Chinese single-player history. The series already has 3 mainline entries. And even back then, China's single-player market was struggling. Yeah. The developer of Gujian, Shanghai Arrogant, remains committed to making single-player games and kept this series going strong, which is honestly rare and admirable. The newly released 4th mainline game doesn't have a number in its title this time, so fans are guessing it will tell a completely new story, maybe set in the same universe. Yeah, known for its great storytelling, top-notch voice acting, and beautiful music, Gujian has always had a solid reputation. It was even adapted into live-action dramas. Together with 2 other classic sword games, it's often called one of the 3 swords, a key part of China's game industry. From what we have seen in the trailer, the visuals this time are on another level. The models look more realistic, and the cinematography feels almost movie-like. Every shot is carefully composed, and the lighting and atmosphere are just breathtaking. Unlike Black Myth Wukong or Zhong Kui, which are based on ancient myth, Gujian belongs to the Xianxia or immortal fantasy genre, a relatively modern storytelling style, but still deeply rooted in Chinese traditional culture. Yeah. Interestingly, the main character in Gujian 4 is also an exorcist, like the Zhong Kui. Even the weapon system is kinda similar, yeah. Though personally, I think the Gujian protagonist looks a lot more handsome. Yeah. There's even an old story saying Zhong Kui killed himself because he thought he was too ugly. Yeah, just a little fun of cultural trivia, yeah. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this new Gujian game. I hope the dev team can keep their signature storytelling quality and deliver another emotional and unforgettable journey to us. Yeah. Phantom Blade Zero is honestly one of the games I'm most excited about. To understand what makes it special, let's do a quick comparison. Black Myth Zhong Kui is rooted in traditional Chinese mythology. Gujian builds a grand fantasy-like Xianxia world full of immortals and spirits. And Phantom Blade Zero, it goes back to the classic wuxia, martial arts hero genre, which has a massive fanbase here in China. If we compare them to game Western audiences might know, Black Myth Zhong Kui is like an Eastern version of God of War, all about gods and demons. Gujian feels more like Star Wars or Naruto, building its own mythological world. But Phantom Blade Zero, in my opinion, has the heart of Red Dead Redemption. It's about individuals trying to survive and stick to their own moral code in a harsh, unforgivable world. Yeah, wuxia culture centered around the martial arts has actually been popular worldwide for decades. From Bruce Lee and Jack Chan to movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and House of Flying Daggers, so the bar for action choreography is really high. That's why I was blown away by that 7-on-1 boss fight in the trailer. The way every move flowed so naturally, fast, precise, and full of impact. It just screamed real wuxia. Watching that, I thought we can actually play this kind of martial arts fantasy now. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. Also, unlike Black Myth Zhong Kui, which only has a teaser for now, both Gujian and Phantom Blade Zero has confirmed that they are not Soulslike games, which for me personally is great news. I'm just not a fan of Souls-style gameplay, yeah, sorry. But speaking of that, the next game, Wuchang Fallen Further, is a true Souls-like. It launched back in July and caused a big stir in China. Within just 2 days, it got the most negative reviews on Steam. I even made a video about that back then. But 3 months later, after several bugs fixed and patches, things have really turned around. The game's now rated very positive. That's a huge comeback. Hopefully, the devs can keep improving and bring us even better work in the future. If we look at Phantom Blade Zero, Gujian, Black Myth Zhong Kui, Wuchang, and even titles like Blood Message and Mortal's Journey to Immortality, we can see a clean trend. Games with strong Chinese cultural roots are still the mainstream direction for the market. But what's truly exciting is that the Chinese indie scene is no longer one-dimensional. It's diverse, experiment, and full of creativity. For example, Lost Soul Aside might not have hit all its commercial goals, but it showed the ambition to take on a Devil May Cry style action experience, which is a big deal for Chinese developers. And then there's Karma: The Dark World, one of my favorite recent games. It draws inspiration from George Orwell's 1984. Yeah, that's 1984. Exploring deep dystopian themes. There's a saying going around that I think captures this perfectly. Telling Chinese stories doesn't always mean the story has to be about China. Chinese developers today show vision and creativity that go far beyond their own cultural background. And nothing shows that better than Showa American Story, a game where Japan purchased and colonized the United States, reshaping it economically and culturally. It's a white zombie comedy RPG set in that alternate reality, mixing absurd humor with creative world building. It's funny, strange, and completely original. And as someone who grew up loving both American and Japanese pop culture, I can't wait to explore that crazy world. Yeah, aside from Phantom Blade Zero, this is probably a game I'm most excited for.
It's you. Yeah.
While I was doing research for this video, I stumbled upon a brand new title that just dropped its first trailer on September 27th. Project Retrograde. From the trailer, it looks like a fascinating mix of classic elements, almost like a fusion experiment. It combines the survival tension and the emotional storytelling of Resident Evil and The Last of Us, with the non-poetic atmosphere of Death Standing. But what really caught my eye is its John Wick style kung fu combat system. Yeah, you can immediately tell the devs are huge John Wick fans. Some of these takedown moves and gun finisher are seriously stylish. Of course, since this is only the first teaser, what we're seeing is still early footage. Some of the movement or animations are a bit stiff, and the voice acting could use a bit more emotion. Yeah, but honestly, that doesn't stop me from being excited because pulling off a mix of surviving horror, cinematic storytelling, and realistic gunplay at this level of ambition is something we've almost never seen before in a Chinese single-player game. I really hope that team keeps polishing it and eventually creates something that truly stands out as their own. Yeah, okay, that's it for today's video. If you spot any cool games out there, let me know in the comments. While gathering all this information, I was honestly blown away. The Chinese single-player scene is way more vibrant and diverse than I imagined. Most of these games aren't made by giant studios or with 3A budgets, but every one of them shine with pure passion and dedication from their creators. As someone who also works in this field, seeing so many talented people keeping pushing forward really makes me feel both admiration and a bit of self-reflection. Yeah, I still have so much to learn and do for the growth of Chinese games. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching till the end. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps this small channel grow. And I appreciate your support more than you know. Yeah, so until next time, stay safe, stay positive, and peace. Bye bye.